and then go over and check out the new Island Tower at the Polynesian, as this was going to be the opening day of it.
We actually shifted our trip a little bit to do this. We were supposed to go the weekend before, and I was like, well, our friends are going to be down there at that time. They're staying there. It's a grand opening. Let's just shift our trip a little bit forward, or I guess back. How do you say that?
We would have pushed it back.
Pushed it back. Yes. So
going forward, I mean, we would have gone earlier.
That's right. See, that's what it confuses my brain. So we pushed it back a few days to be able to do that. So that's why it's a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday trip that we don't usually do.
True. My days are all messed up. Today is Wednesday, and it feels like it's Monday. It's very strange.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, if you're not aware of what this is, the Polynesian Tower is a new DVC resort tower in the Polynesian. And you want to go through a little bit of facts on this?
Sure. So officially opened December 17th. That was Tuesday. It is the second DVC, Disney Vacation Club Tower, built at Walt Disney World. The first was Riviera, and they're currently working on a third at Fort Wilderness called the Lakeshore Lodge.
It's Reflections.
Yeah, Reflections. So they're really doing a lot more of these DVC towers. I think that's the way going forward. No more, long houses at Polynesian or, cabins at Fort Wilderness. Towers is where it's at.
Apparently.
So this sits between the existing Polynesian Village buildings, the longhouses, and the wedding pavilion. So it's right where the Spirit of Aloha dinner show used to be. In fact, if you look at Google Maps or you try to turn on your location services like on Instagram, it'll show Spirit of Aloha for your location.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, oh, that's so sad. There are 260 guest rooms in these categories. I've got duo studios that sleep 2, deluxe studios sleep 4, 1 bedrooms that sleep 5, 2 bedrooms that sleep 9, and then there's a whole new category, 2-bedroom penthouse villas, and they are snazzy.
I'm sure you pay a pretty penny for those.
Pretty penny. Beautiful views of Seven Seas Lagoon and the castle and stuff, but hefty price to pay for those.
Yeah, so they've got all that in there. So let's go through. Do you want to go first impressions first, or do you want to talk about more of the vibe and feel of it all?
Let's do first impressions.
Okay. My first impression kind of stems how I thought it was to begin with, which is the outside of it, there's nothing, it kind of looks like a Hilton. There's nothing like amazing about it from the outside. It does have some extra little theming on it that kind of gives it a little bit of a Polynesian vibe. It doesn't match the Polynesian aesthetic of the rest of the resort, which has been something I've said for a while that I said was going to bug me about it.
So you don't like that? You don't like that it looks more modern than the
That's
others?
and that's what I was going to say. My issue with this place, and we'll talk about more about it, is not that it exists. Like like I said, the outside, it looks kind of plain. Inside, it's pretty. It's very modern Polynesian feel and Moana things. It is pretty. It just doesn't fit the Polynesian vibe. So to me, I'm like, if you had this somewhere else, I'm like, this is cool. That's nice. But when it's supposed to be part of the Polynesian, like to me, Polynesian is like old, retro Poly, especially on Christmas time. Like, it has a certain look and feel to it. And this hotel just doesn't have anything of that. So to me, it automatically, I'm just like, it just feels weird having it there. But it is nice. It's got some really cool views. It's got a lot of things around it that, got like the hammocks you can lay in. It doesn't have much, like, I guess you could say that's for kids. Like, they got sand, you can do it. So like the aesthetics of it are very modern. With the food and everything. The lobby, not very big. Like, it's not a very big resort in general. So I would say,
have a lot of space there.
No. It's kind of exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
If I'm being honest.
Okay.
Like, what about you?
Yeah. So, we walked from Grand Floridian because we looked at the gingerbread house and stuff over there, and we took the pathway. We're walking. So we kind of entered from that side of the resort. And yeah, first impressions were very much like it felt smaller.
I mean, you can tell the footprint is very small.
Yeah, it felt smaller than I thought. So that's okay. That's fine. It's very like the walkway path, like again, like as you're going from Grand Floridian to this tower onto the village part of the hotel. It's very close to the water. Like there's not a lot of room there, which is crazy. But yeah, it's very it's more simple. It's very simple. Like it's just like chairs and hammocks, like you said, and a little bit of Polynesian flair. Like some of the balconies have, I don't even know what that design is, but it's like, again, Moana themed,
Yeah, they had
kind of.
I call them accents. Just
Accents,
kind of
thank
looks.
you.
Yeah.
That's the word. So there's that, and then of course the restaurant, which I'll talk about in a second, was if you're facing it was to the left. So and it took up a pretty big footprint on that left side in the front.
But the
there.
restaurant is not that big.
Not that big.
Not very big at
Nope,
all. Because
not
when we
that
tried it, we did eat here and we couldn't get a table. So you can get it's quick service, so you can get it to go. So we did get it to go, but
is it quick service?
well, I mean,
That's the question.
you can order it to go. It has quick service prices for the most part.
It's like a hybrid kind of, because you
Yeah.
can do. I guess we can just talk about that right now. Do you want to talk
That's
about the
fine,
restaurant?
yeah.
Okay, great. So it's Wailulu is the restaurant we're talking about, and that's bar and grill. It is walk up. No reservations can be made. They do a grab and go thing for breakfast, and they do lunch and dinner where you can sit down inside. Now you can sit down, and you'll have a server that brings you stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's a strange setup, and
But
it would be like Captain Cook's having, when you sit down, they basically have a server come to you, but you can still order it off off your phone. It's kind of a strange little hybrid thing there, so I don't really know how to classify it. But yeah,
we'll just call it casual dining.
Yeah.
We'll just do it like that.
Now I will say, like I said, not many. I don't know how many tables and chairs they had in there, but it was not a ton. Now, granted, this was
Not a
opening
lot.
day, so it was busy,
Mhm.
and a lot of people were. We'll just say I would nickname them Coleman because they liked camping. We'll put it that way.
Ooh.
They they were
Colemans.
enjoying camping out in here. So if you wanted to get a seat in here, like, people weren't leaving very quickly. But it did have cool views. So outside, like, you literally, like, sitting over the water, you can see the castle. You had a little,
Oh my gosh, those booths.
yeah, and
Are
you
you
had
talking about?
you
Oh
had a
gosh.
little, like, there's a sort of like a waterfall fountain outside.
It's like an infinity
Yeah.
feature.
It had a lot of cool aesthetic views with that. Like, it is in the
Absolutely.
evening time, I imagine it'd be really pretty out there. If it was like the nice weather, hang out there. Like,
Mhm.
that I'm sure it would be great. So it had a lot of things that were cool about it. Just everything with this hotel is just, or resort, whatever you want to call it, is just very small. Not
Just
a lot,
smaller.
not a big footprint.
I mean, that's okay. I mean, like you said, there's 260 rooms, so it's not a ton of people staying in this tower. You can use the amenities here at the tower if you're staying in the regular hotel and vice versa. So if you want to come over and eat, you can. If you want to use the fitness center, which, do you want to talk about the fitness center?
Yeah, I took a peek in there. It's actually it's one of the bigger ones I've seen, actually. I was pretty surprised by it. So it had, it's got your ellipticals and your treadmills. It did have free weights. I think they're up to like 50 or they typically as high as they go. Had a lot of machines. They did have a touch screen TV where you could do like an aerobics class. Like, you could pick a class and follow an instructor on there. It also had a couple of specialized machines that were kind of pretty neat. I don't think I've seen them have in a resort before. Then at the end they had orange and cranberry water, I think, which is actually really good. You just pour it out and get it. But
Elderberry.
elderberry, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was very surprised at how big and kind of nice it was. So again, if you just want to get a decent workout in, it's not bad at all.
So there's a door from the outside into the fitness center. Is there one on the inside too?
No, it's just that outside entrance.
You have to go outside to get into it?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
I'm pretty sure I didn't see anywhere in there you would have had an entrance on the inside. Maybe for employees, but I didn't see one for guests, but I didn't really look that close.
But this is also really cool because the Polynesian has never had a fitness center before, and they always had to share with Grand Floridian.
That may have been why they made it a little bit bigger. I was going to say that because they don't have a dedicated one for Polynesian, so they may have made it a bit bigger to be able to have people from Polynesian. Yeah,
absolutely. So, I mean, if that's one thing that is important to you to have, Polynesian's got it now, you guys. So there you go.
You can also run on the sand like Rocky. Yeah, they got sand now.
They do have sand.
Yeah.
They do have sand. The pool, the Cove pool. That's their pool right by there. What do you think of that one?
If you would have looked at the concept art, you would have expected quite a bit more. They had some infinity pool action going on here.
They have zero entry still, which is fine.
Yeah, the pool was, if I'm being honest, is very basic. Given that the other pool, the main pool, is not that far away, if you've got kids, I would imagine, well, it depends. So
let's go to the lava pool.
The pool itself was just very basic, no frills, no slide, no anything about it. It had zero entry. the kids' splash pad area did have, it's got the Moana on a boat.
Moana's Voyage is what it's called.
Yeah. It's like a sculpture that sits there, but it doesn't really have any interactivity to it. So I don't really know how much kids would really be into it. You know what I mean? They can climb on it. They can do
pretend
stuff.
that they're sailing with
Yeah,
Moana.
they can. I obviously, if they like Moana, it's something they would really be into. And it's brand new.
I see what you're saying. Like other places that have like the splash, the water, the buckets that dump, or like going down.
This doesn't
slides.
have any of that.
It's
It's just basically you have little, it's got splash pad area things around it, but like on the boat itself, there's nothing to it other than it's like the sculpture or whatever of her on the boat. So it's a cool. Honestly, it's a cool picture. I honestly don't know. Like our kids, we didn't have swimsuits or anything with us, so they didn't play in it. I don't really know how kids would feel about it. There were no kids in there at the time, so I don't really know.
First day though, so I don't know.
Right. So given it's not your typical splash pad area that they do, so.
To be fair though, it is the DVC pool, and so it's not supposed to be the main feature pool of the resort. That's saved for lava pool.
True.
So if you want to do the splash area stuff, you want the slides, all that stuff, then lava pool is where you go. This is definitely an option though if you want to chill out and get some rays, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think one thing this resort will probably do is make the regular pool busier.
Yeah.
And I think it'll make a lot of the things that the Polynesian is busier in general. But yeah, I mean, I would say if you've got kids, I would go over to the lava pool for sure over this one.
Okay. What'd you think of the lobby?
Again, small. It was really nice.
It's beautiful.
It had a lot of like cool lighting elements. It's very tall.
Yes.
Again, very it's like a mix. It was like a very modern poly Moana vibe.
So they have said the tower will, quote, celebrate the vibrant spirit of the Polynesian islands, the natural elements, and our favorite wayfinder, Moana. And it definitely does that.
Yeah.
Because they use a lot of grayish, like gray beige.
Yeah.
A lot of gray.
I don't know how I feel about that. They had a really nice big table in there that you could sit at. They had like these grass pillar things from the ceiling that were in there.
They're pretty.
So it added little accent colors to it. Now, one thing about the lobby here that's interesting is there are no check-in desks.
Nope.
So you just have cast members based on iPads. Mm-hmm. And so it does free up space in there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel real cramped. Because, again, it's not very... And I think they did that because it's not very big.
Right. And there's a lot of seating. There's a lot of seating in there.
Yeah.
So if you do want to just chill in there, it's definitely possible. But you're right. Yeah, no check-in desks.
I think they had charging cable. Like you could charge stuff on some of the stuff you could sit at there.
Yeah.
That's actually where we ate our food, was at that big table, just because there's nowhere else to sit. But they have seating on the side as well. It's got, it's big windows. So it's got a lot of light that comes in.
Yeah.
So I did like that. So, I mean, it's not a grand lobby. It's not as like a Polynesian lobby, but it's very... I'm trying to think like Riviera. Like Riviera is like that too, though. Riviera doesn't have like a grand lobby. Like the lobby's just kind of okay. I would say this one's
all of the DVC lobbies
yeah.
are
Like I would say
this.
this one is nicer than Riviera, probably.
This DVC lobby, based compared to the other ones, I feel is the best. That's my opinion. But
it's the most unique.
I feel it's the best.
Well, if you think about most of them just don't have a whole lot to the lobbies. So
I mean,
yeah,
it's not meant to though.
Right.
I mean, it's like home away from home kind of feel. It's not meant to be grand or anything like that. I would say Kidani is also good. Again, but not very big, but kind of it's just like a smaller version of their Jumbo House one.
Yeah.
And
but you do have the restaurant right off the lobby there.
Yeah.
So everything is very nearby.
Oh, yeah.
Because, again, it's just not very big.
The ceiling is really pretty with the lighting and the little...
The lighting, I will say, throughout the entire resort, the lighting elements and stuff they did, I did like.
Yeah.
So they had a lot of, in the hallways, which was about the room here in a minute, they had sort of these accent lights throughout and I'll try and put up some overlay pictures here while I'm talking about this, but, in the mirrors in the hotel room, the lobby, all the stuff like that with the lighting, I did like.
Yeah.
Because it was modern, but they kind of put a little bit of a Moana vibe to it. So at least it wasn't just standard stock lighting. It seemed like it was something different.
It was definitely obviously it's Polynesian themed, but it just has accents of Moana here and there. Especially in the rooms definitely, but in the lobby too. Just it's not overboard. There's one wall where it's this teal green color, and there's like imprints of
Yeah,
things
it's like an
from the
accent
movie.
wall a little bit.
Yeah, we took a picture in front of it. It's really pretty. But I really liked that. So
Yeah, there's little things at the ends of hallways. You'll see pictures or paintings and it's like, again, Moana. So.
murals, which I think are wallpaper. Now that I'm looking at it, I was like, I think it's wallpaper, but they look like murals.
Yeah, and the thing is, other than Moana in the kiddie pool area, there's really nothing that's like overtly Moana.
Correct.
Most of it is very subtle. It doesn't, which, you look at Disney in the 90s and they went like over the top with the theming, and they went through a period of time when everything was just like bland. It looks like a hospital room. I'm kind of hoping they're finding a middle ground between it looks like Disney threw up on the walls and nothing on the walls, whereas maybe like it's okay to have a little bit more accent into the hotels.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily have to be just Moana's face on a wall.
Right.
Stuff like that. So I'm hoping they get kind of more toward that, because I do think the hotels in general do need more. They need more of like a Disney vibe to them, other than just a lot of times they can just feel like any other hotel, especially the values. But.
Yeah. The room. Talk about our friend's room.
Yeah. Very small, I will say. Much smaller room.
They're in a studio theme park view, by the way.
Yeah.
And
so small. View was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Could see the Magic Kingdom and all that stuff like that.
View. The balcony was big.
The door is
Big
very
balcony.
heavy. So what's one that
was
I guess
heavy.
it's good or bad, I don't know, but it was a very heavy
It was
door.
hard to open, yeah.
So the view was good. Now I will say it was a smaller room, but they did use the space very well. So this room is laid out very different from other rooms I've seen.
Other studios.
So
like
it kind of
this,
did like shallower counters. Now they did a thing. If you've ever been in the one bedrooms, say like Beach Club, they kind of have that booth seating that goes around a table. They took a version of that, made it smaller, and put it over there. So they still have the Murphy bed in here, but instead of having the Murphy bed with a table and chairs, and then you have to move those chairs somewhere in that room to pull it down, this one has this like sort of booth thing and little table there. So it actually, and there's like another stool. Mm-hmm. So I actually think it's a pretty good use of the space, because you don't have to put other chairs somewhere in the room when you pull the bed out. So
and there's no coffee table or anything in front of the Murphy bed. It's just a small, skinny table that you can move very easily.
But they also did put like a little small couch instead of having the table that comes down, you can sit on a small couch on the Murphy bed, which they've done that before in other rooms too.
Yeah, the table thing is in the values. DVCs, they all have the couch like in front of the bed. So when you pull down the bed, though, there's Tefiti on the headboard, which is kind of nice. I like that. Again, another Moana accent. But again, this room, the kitchen area is it's like right along the wall next to the Murphy bed, which is a new layout again, like you were saying.
Yeah, like I said, it's laid out very different, but it was a pretty, again, you can tell they're smaller, but it was a pretty, unique use of the space. The lighting in the bathroom is cool. You did have
the bathroom.
You had a walk-in shower. You also had a dedicated room with the toilet in there. So the bathroom,
frosted door.
It did. The bathroom is actually not too small. It was a decent size.
It's okay. If you are comparing the size to the Polynesian bathrooms, it's a lot smaller.
Starting to say these rooms were nowhere near the size of the Polynesian rooms, because those were some of the first ones Disney ever built, and they soon figured out make the room smaller, have more rooms, and sell more hotel rooms.
If you want space, if you want lots of space, this may not be the place to stay. I would definitely choose the Village side, and the other deluxe studios over there. But
I mean, if you're talking about
nice
like
over here,
staying
too.
here for a week, like a family of four, it would be tight.
You could still make it work.
You can make it
You
work,
can make
of
it
course.
work,
I'm just
for
saying
sure.
it's nice. It was, the amenities were nice and things like that, but it is a little bit smaller.
Yeah. And you had another Moana accent. You had a conch shell that was on the top shelf over there, and it won't move. We tried to pick it up. We could not do it. Just the accents of Moana here and there. And it's beautiful. It's different. So they redid the rooms in the Village side, Polynesian Village side, the regular just hotel rooms, cash rooms, to be more Moana themed. And those have a lot more color. They have a lot more like teals and like coral colors. This one is very neutral.
Yeah.
Very more neutral colors. Hints here and there, but very, very neutral. And that's okay. That's the vibe of the hotel. So, by the way, you cannot access the elevators unless you are a hotel guest.
That may not be something they keep around. I've seen now, even Universal's done this before, but yes, when you get on there, they had somebody watching the elevator, so you had to be a guest to get on, and you actually had to use your magic band to even go up or down the elevators, which I get on opening day. Keep out people from wandering around, because I also had terraces here, which we'll talk about, which, I'm sure they want to keep people out of those. So they could actually keep this in place because of that, though, of the terraces. That's one thing I could imagine. Maybe that's the reason as to why. Because with those, these are, how would you describe these things? So it's like not outdoor spaces, but like sort of open spaces with views.
Are we talking about the terraces now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're supposed to be hideaway terrace gardens, which it's like a shoebox with only one side on the side open, if you will.
Yeah, it's like they're kind of like that in
a diorama.
There's different themed ones. A diorama.
It feels like a diorama. Remember dioramas from school, and you'd set the things up in the shoebox, and you could look in. They were covered on all sides.
We never called it a diorama. But
no,
I don't recall.
Okay, well, the Polynesian dioramas, there's 4 of them.
Yes, and certain ones have a view. One of them, now a couple have a view of like where you can see the fireworks. Some of them have a view of construction. Currently
on the other side.
But I will say I don't know how it'll be interesting. Like if the hotel's full, like how full do those things get?
Right.
I imagine they'll probably get pretty full. Now they do have some lounge seating. They got some cabana-like things, but again, you're talking about that could sit maybe 10 people.
The wicker bubble.
The wicker bubble, as it got to be known.
Just sit in the wicker bubble.
So these are nice. I would definitely go out here and hang out if I need to do some work, chill out in there. Like if you had a drink, a snack, like hang out, and just enjoy like a nice little breeze. I don't imagine in the summer these will be very much in demand in the daytime.
If they turn the fan on, maybe.
I mean, even a fan in the middle of the summer in Florida is just like someone just blowing hot air on you.
Yeah.
But it is
right.
in the shade for the most part. Now I'm sure at some point there can be sunlight in there. But they're unique. I've never seen them do this in a hotel before. So I think it is kind of a cool little thing that makes. My guess is with a lack of space, they kind of got a little creative here and thought about doing these.
Well, the best one is the Wave. I think it's the Wave Break Terrace. That one's the best. That one's the one with the best views of the castle. Each of them are themed to a different Polynesian island. There's Bora Bora, Samoa, Hawaii, and Fiji. So you might get a different theme depending on where you're at. But this thing, I mean, I'm really glad that they added these. I think it really adds to the tower. You know, they took away some rooms to do it, obviously, but I think it's a wonderful addition.
I guess it depends on if it's something you would like. I don't think it would appeal to everybody. I think it would just depend on if it's something. Yeah, I mean,
I will like it.
Well, in the end, I wonder how busy they get. What does it look like around, fireworks and stuff like that? I'm sure they probably get pretty busy, but in general, I do think they're kind of a cool accent.
Real quick, we forgot to say what we got at the Wailulu Bar and Grill, which means calm water, by the way.
Calm water.
Y means water, Lulu means calm. Well, calm water. So we did a mobile order, and I put the mobile order in at 10:30, and it wasn't able to pick up until 1:30. It was a 3-hour wait for that, which is crazy, but it was the first day, so I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
So what did you get, Jared?
How do you pronounce this thing?
It's called musabi.
Okay, musabi. It's basically sushi spam.
It's kind of sushi.
It's like a bit spam roll. This was delicious.
Musubi. That's what it is. Do you want to read it?
I can't see it from here.
Yeah, it's glazed spam, crispy rice pearls, furikake, and sriracha honey for $12.
This was really good. I'd never had spam that I know of, so I wasn't quite sure, but I want to get something different. It was pretty decent portion size, but it was really, really good. I was pretty impressed by it. It had a little bit of a crunch to it too, which I like a little bit of a crunch, especially with like sushi. So I would highly recommend this. It was very good.
Yeah, it was really good. It wasn't like spicy, or it's just sriracha honey, but it wasn't really spicy.
No, it wasn't spicy.
I did enjoy the crunch. I did enjoy that. And yeah, spam. So I've been to Hawaii before. It's been years, but everything is spam there. There's so much spam.
Right, yeah.
So it made sense to incorporate this in the menu. So I'm glad they did that. But yeah, I would get this again. I got the sticky pork ribs, Again, we just did starters for this because we didn't have a lot of time, so we were gonna go. But I did the sticky pork ribs for $15, and they're salt cured green cabbage for kake. Again, I don't know what that is. Jicama slaw and pineapple chips. I think they gave you 5 or 6 of these.
It was a pretty decent amount.
Decent amount. Like, it was filling. Like, I was full, and I think it was really good. It was really good. It was a little salty. It was a little too salty for my taste.
You're complaining about
I
salt.
know. At the very end, like the aftertaste was really salty. Maybe it was just me.
I didn't pick up on that.
You didn't pick up on that?
I thought they were really good.
Maybe I don't know. But again, I still enjoyed it. It was just a touch salty for maybe I got a bad bite or something like that.
I will say these are probably the best ribs I've had at Disney. I think they did these the best ones.
They're really good.
So
and they are sticky. They are messy.
Mm-hmm.
So get your wipes. Get your
Yeah.
wipes. But filling and really good. And our son got mac and cheese. Got white cheddar mac and cheese. The entire thing.
Which that was the good mac and cheese. So
yeah. I would like to come back here and try some more things. I would like to try. Okay, so I heard the Wayfinder burger is really good. Like, really good.
I know. I'm so tired of burgers being $26 though.
I know.
On principle,
I know.
it drives me nuts. I know, but I have heard. I just want to try something different on top of that. But yeah.
Someone said you should try the short rib loco moco, and that's the shiitake mushroom gravy, crispy rice cake, and fried egg.
Oh, okay. I can try.
I think you might like that. I really do. And I would like to try. I really want to try like the poke bowl. The grilled teriyaki chicken one, but it has nuts in it. So if I can get those without it, maybe I'll try that.
Yeah.
They have like teriyaki chicken sliders. They have salads. They have pork chops. Not a lot of main items on the menu. I think there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 10.
Yeah.
So it's not like center of variety, but
I mean, I would like to go here. This would be a good date night spot.
Sure.
Because not that it's exclusive, but I don't think it's necessarily designed with kids in mind, which
let's see.
Kind of is. I mean, they have kid items. I'm not saying they're not like you can't have kids. I'm just saying like again, a lot of these things are designed with more adults in mind.
Let's see. The kids can go the white cheddar mac and cheese, cheeseburgers, grilled white fish, or grilled teriyaki chicken.
Right. I'm talking more about like the way it's laid out and the vibe of it. It's not like
I see. Okay.
Real kitty type stuff. So I think this would be a good date night spot. Again, if you were out here in the evening, be really pretty. I do wonder at some point if they put a time limit. Because I imagine around fireworks time.
You can't just sit at your table for 3 hours.
That's the thing. What are they going to do about that? Like, people are going to get a table at like 5 o'clock and just hang out until fireworks.
Will they eventually require reservations after like 5 o'clock?
They might.
I think they should.
We were there a while. And I mean, I'm not going to name names, but there were certain people that were there legitimately sitting
for
down
hours in the same
and there
spot.
were tons of, and it's just like, I get it. You want to go through your stuff, but I'm just like, this stuff like this is going to cause them to be like, you have an hour. You know what I mean? Like, because again, I can see getting near fireworks and people just camp out in there because you can literally see the fireworks from the table.
Yeah. I do want to say you talked about the bar and like the lounge area. It is just walk up only. And you can sit down if there's a free table. With the regular restaurant, you have to be seated. They have to call you in. So you can't just sit down over there.
Yeah.
But everything that I saw, we didn't try any drinks, but everything I saw for the cocktails was just not good. Like everything was pre-mixed. Everything was just very mediocre. So that's all I heard.
I noticed the pre-mixed stuff on there, and I thought about trying. They had a beer that sounded interesting, but then I stood in line for 10 minutes and didn't move, and I was like, I don't need it that bad. So I just left.
You guys really challenged Jared and his patience.
Well, it's fine. I don't need it anyways. But
it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess it's about final thoughts. Like, what did you think overall of it? All that stuff.
Overall, I think this place is beautiful. I enjoy the vibe. I like that it's modern. Now, again, does it match the regular Polynesian Village side? Not exactly. It's its own vibe, and that's okay. They can't exactly match it. There is no dark wood. You notice that?
I did notice
There's
that.
no dark
That's one of
wood
the
over
complaints
there.
I had about it.
Okay,
was that, yeah.
Would I stay here? Sure. Now the points for these hotels or this tower is pretty high. So our friends, it was $27, $27 points for their theme park view deluxe studio, which is that's a lot. That's a lot of points. If you're familiar with DVC at all, I mean, I think you can get like a value studio at Animal Kingdom for as low as like 9 points a night.
Yeah.
So in comparison, I mean, like you just kind of have to feel like how many points you want to use if you're a DVC member. You can rent points to stay here. You can also pay cash. They do offer cash rooms that you can pay for if you're not a DVC member. So lots of
For
options.
About $920.
Yeah,
a
we priced it out. It was pretty high. But would I stay here? Absolutely. I would. That would be great. I think I would maybe just do like one night just to try it. But what did you think?
It's not that I don't like the hotel. I like the hotel. It has a good looking vibe to it. It has, I'm not against all the theming of it and things like that. And for the use of space they did was pretty good. My main issue with it has been the whole time is it being on the Polynesian or in the Polynesian, because I do worry and wonder what it's going to do to the regular Polynesian area. Like I think it's going to make everything else more crowded. Especially because that restaurant can't hold that many people.
Right.
So if people want to go eat, they're going to go over to the regular Poly. So I think that's only going to get busier over there.
Yep.
I really enjoy the Polynesian's vibe and feel and that like old school Hawaiian, like retro Disney Polynesian vibe. This isn't anything like that. And I kind of always have liked Polynesian feeling a little bit more like you escape somewhere. I feel like this tower takes that away. I feel like it doesn't make you feel. It has much more of a. Well, you're not going to see a tower. I mean, you don't see that. If you're like in Polynesian, you're typically like in that. At least in my mind. So,
I see what you're saying.
It's nice. It's not nice. It has a lot of amenities to it that I think are really cool. But again, like if you put this anywhere else than the Polynesian, if this was just out on its own somewhere, I'd be like, that's a pretty cool hotel. But it's just where it's at, which has been my beef with it the whole time, is the fact that they took a small little space and decided to put this in here. And I don't know. We'll see what it does long term with the Polynesian. I just had a feeling the whole time it's going to mess with the overall flow of the rest of the Polynesian.
Yeah. My final thoughts is that if you are staying in a regular like resort view or a standard view, whatever they call it, that faces the monorail, close your curtains if you're getting dressed, because that monorail is real close.
I was gonna say, I do wonder how loud it is in there, because it's very close to there. But
that's our review. It was great to check it out. Opening day of a hotel. I don't think we've ever been to one. Wait, we have at Universal. Never mind. Just kidding.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah.